In 2015, governments celebrated as they thought they finally had the solution to the climate crisis, the Paris Agreement. This historic agreement is the first legally binding universal climate treaty adopted by 196 parties to the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change. Its central aim? To limit global warming to well below 2 degrees Celsius, preferably to 1.5 degrees Celsius, above pre-industrial levels. Since every country has very different capacities, this accord allows each nation to communicate their own nationally determined contributions, NDCs, pledges on how they plan to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions. These had to be met and become increasingly more ambitious every 5 years in order to achieve the net zero emissions target by 2050. Moreover, in order to meet the goals, the Paris Agreement also obliges the so-called Global North to assist the developing Global South in dealing with adverse climate change impacts by providing financial, technical, and capacity building support. And how does this agreement ensure every country is playing their part? Via the establishment of a transparent method for measuring and assessing. Since the agreement's entry into force, there has been significant progress. The use of fossil fuels is decreasing, such as within the European Union. Low or even zero carbon solutions and new markets are emerging, such as circular business models and electric mobility systems. And more countries are establishing carbon neutrality targets, including Sweden, Denmark, Costa Rica, and Japan. Nonetheless, the pledges made are nowhere near enough to meet the agreement's mitigation goals. Making matters worse, legally binding as it seems, it's not. There is no rigid timeline to meet one's pledge, and implementation of the pledges is way off target, as many countries lay back and continue emitting past their goals. Furthermore, there is absolutely zero repercussions to those who fail to meet their NDCs. For instance, the US, the world's second top emitter, could just withdraw from the agreement with no fines nor punishment. Moving forward, a regulatory body holding countries accountable to their pledges, and policy incentives for green technologies and projects should be established. Business operations also need to change, from business as usual to green as usual. But most importantly, more ambitious climate goals is a must. To truly protect the planet from human-induced climate change, everyone from all levels needs to act. The Paris Agreement, after all, is the world's agreement, and as such, it is ours to make it happen.